We are back with episode.
It opened up my eyes, I saw the sign. Life is demanding without understanding.
Oh, Daddy Snacks, what have you done?
Welcome to the Dark Pact Bullshit Hour. Your host, Dustin, has pulled us all together because we were so rambunctious and haven't been able to play together, and we're excited for this.
We done been hit by a storm called September, and it done wrecked our shits.
And if you came here for vampire action, you're shit out of luck because it's karaoke night. That's what's happening now. But vampire karaoke night. That's what we're doing. Just light them up in the chat with what you want, and we'll oblige. No. So this is iKindred. This is Chapter 9, Cinerem. And we are back with our characters who probably remember absolutely nothing about last game. But first, we're going to see if they remember who they are. So, Bofrin, thank you for coming back with us. Still the best beard in the business. Nothing's changed in like a month.
Best beard in the business.
Why don't you give us a little rundown on who Thomas Weller is and what's going on with him right now, if you remember.
Let's see.
Remember being the operative.
That Thomas guy. Oh yeah, he's like, if I remember, a Tremere. Had a interesting childhood, a very ecclesiastical childhood. Raised highly religious. Nothing below the board on that one. And we're I'm a Tremere, so I do magic. And let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. I think we were, finished up a car chase where we almost wrecked Taper.
Was that a thing?
I think so. Yeah.
That was a thing.
That was the thing.
We were real close. We were real close. Real close. I was pretty mad.
So,
my counter offer for Taper was going to be, step in for second and be like, look, how about this? How about I drain him? And then I just go, during the meeting and say, hey, put me in a chantry for 1,000 years or two, millennia or two, and let Taper just study books with no other interaction and blood served via bag.
whoa, that got dark.
I like that, though.
So,
That's a good plan.
I'm Dustin. I'm your storyteller, allegedly. And to the other side of me here is Levi playing his character Second. So, Levi, why don't you tell us a little bit about who Second is?
I used to know who I was. I was a guy that liked computers, and then I became aware of the world-destroying computer AI that I had to take care of. And then somebody made me a vampire, and it turns out that the guy that made me a vampire, I turned into another vampire, so there's two other guys, and it turns out maybe I work for the old prince. I think I'm the bad guy. I think I just am the bad guy of the whole plot, and I don't know it.
I agree.
That's what I'm pretty sure about. Because every time I think I know what's going on, I get old memories that I don't know that I have.
And when
also,
Levi,
every time I make an Amazon purchase, that happens too.
and just to be clear, Levi only knows this because the other players are telling him this. He didn't figure this shit out on his own. He's like getting on the Discord chat. They're like, "Wait, you're the what?" He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I think I might be.
I think I am the thing."
Yeah, I'm actually. The irony is that for writing as much like stuff that I do as a DM, I am shit for unwinding someone else's plot. Like, I'm a perfect audience member because I'll be sitting there, it's like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And then my wife will be like, yeah, I saw that coming. Like, this is terrible. How could you see that coming? So, don't worry, I will be shocked. There will be shock. I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty sure I'm the bad guy.
You'll know it when you see it.
So, bad guys aside, we have another character, and it's Cameron playing Omar Vasquez. So, Cameron, tell us a little about Omar and what's going on with him right now.
Omar is about to take over the world. He has convinced the I already forgot their name. What is
The
their
Giovanni.
Name? The Giovanni. Holy cow!
Omar has such beta male energy, and yet he's like going to be this CEO evil mogul.
So Omar has tricked the Giovanni into being his employees, and he is pretty much running the show for them now.
Oh,
And,
Jesus. I feel bad you saying this. You're like, hold on. There's
He's
no
not
fucking
saying
way
it
you tricked him
out
into
loud
anything.
in character.
There's no fucking way.
Well,
If anything,
I
they
mean,
tricked us into thinking that we tricked them.
the Giovanni need our tech savviness. We're reaching a younger crowd for them. We're going to bring them lots of money, and in turn, they're giving us housing and paying us money, and they need us. So he's in charge now, and he's
He's in charge now.
he's in charge now, and this is working out way better than all those multi-marketing schemes, multi-level marketing schemes that he was so fond of when he was younger. Regular business seems to work out just fine. It's really easy, guys.
Just regular business.
It's really easy. I don't know why everybody makes this out to be so hard.
Now, what business was that you're doing?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
All right. So which one of you brave
Multi-level
souls?
marketing.
Which one of you brave souls want to recap last session?
Driving a truck. Got mad. Found out that I might be working for the former prince, who is locked away in a facility somewhere in a sleep deprivation chamber that I helped put him in. And then I got real mad, and Taper showed up, and there's two Tapers, and I think they were both there.
Yeah, they were both there.
And we went for Taper the Elder, and we got real close to killing him, and he got away.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you were fangs deep into Taper's neck, and you were starting to pull soul out of him. Upon which you realized that if you did so, he would literally be in your head forever. And I believe that is the only thing that stopped Second from Diablerizing Taper was realizing that he could then literally never be rid of him.
Nothing about the moral issue. Nope.
Nope. No, nothing about the
It was a
Nothing to do with
combination
that.
of Taper saying, "Yes, do it, do it. I'll be with you forever."
Yeah, when the guy's like, "Yeah, do it, murder me," I'm like, "Oh, now it's time to pump the brakes."
This is a good idea until I realized you wanted it. Now,
No,
fuck
don't
that.
give you what you
I'm
want.
out.
So
Then I also
my character choices
Thomas
are
came up
major.
and was like, "Hey, he's right."
yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you guys remember where you were heading before all that shenanigans happened?
In a van.
I don't recall.
We were
where-
going to the Giovanni, if I remember correctly.
You guys were
Because-
going to find the Giovanni.
That makes sense.
Oh, we're getting him ready for a party.
That's right.
Yep.
Yes.
You guys have
We were
Elysium
trying to
coming
secure an invite.
later this evening. Technically.
I don't. Oh,
We
I
have
think we
Right.
did secure the invite, right?
No, we did not yet.
No, we
because,
not yet.
I have to face the bone of truth, and I've got an idea about that. Now, I threw out the joke idea last week about sacrificing Jeff, but interesting thing about Sabat. You might be an asshole, but you're our asshole. So we don't throw you under the bus.
I mean,
All right.
we do have to
essentially-
find a Patsy, right? For killing the
Not necessarily. We need to just be able to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I think you be able to tell the truth.
Is this like an Obi-Wan
Exactly.
Kenobi from a certain point of view truth? Is that...
Oh, watch
In other
this.
words, bullshit truth.
Hey, second.
the truth?
Yes.
All right. I bow and say, "My prince,
Uh,
do you accept my service?"
I.
My prince, do you accept
there-
my service?
Are there ghosts around here?
You
No,
don't see
second.
any.
Second,
Why are we
Think-
doing this?
think for a second.
The van is clean. I checked the van. Is it bugged? Why is he doing this?
We have to construct truth at times. How do we make truth? Do you accept me, my
Eve?
prince?
How do we make truth? Eve.
Eve responds, "The truth always wants to be free. Set the truth free."
Hold on. I tried. Okay, I'm just gonna use a power to save the day because that's what always works in an RPG.
When in doubt, use a dot from your sheet.
Yeah, totally.
What are
So-
you?
So I'm gonna use Eyes of Chaos to try and see the patterns that are happening in front of me.
Eyes of Chaos. Okay.
It's basically like the
I-
vampire equivalent of augury.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I
you
got
know.
you. I kind of remember it.
So, it's perception and occult, and I boosted occult between games. I've got 4 successes.
Four
so
successes.
in listening to him and thinking on what he's talking about with the prince, where is the order in this?
You think about it, and you try to clear your mind. And as he says the words, do you accept my... What'd you say again there, Thomas? You said it.
Do you accept my service, my
Accept my
prince?
service, my prince. As he echoes those words, they echo through your head a bit. As he says it a couple of times, trying to wait for you to respond. You remember closing the deprivation tank. The one that you had purchased as essentially a lackey for Prince Voltaire.
Right.
You remember walking back up a set of stairs. And there you were greeted by Kindred. There you were greeted by Kindred, who asked you the exact same question.
No.
And then you remember, you didn't know how to be prince. You didn't know how to run a domain. So you did the only thing you knew how to do. You set up programs to run it for you.
Do you accept my service, my prince?
Yeah. Omar,
Second,
Yeah?
should I do
do
that?
you authorize the
whatever you want.
execution of the deputy?
Yes.
My prince, you
Yeah?
authorize the execution of the deputy.
Yes, we don't like them either. What is
Very
going
well.
on?
I can pass a bone of truth.
Eve, am I the prince? Eve, am I the prince? Are you the prince? Eve, who's Adam? Is Adam the prince?
You're Adam.
I throw my phone out the fucking window. We gotta get away from that phone.
You take off down the street, leaving your phone rattling in some trash can that you lobbed it towards.
I turn to Omar and say, all I was just trying to do is construct a truth. My prince, very specific verbiage.
It seems like you did it. I think you're scot-free.
No, we're scot-free.
I think we're scot-free.
The prince isn't real.
Sure he is. You're the prince.
No. I put the prince in a box because he told me to, and then I came upstairs. I didn't know there were stairs. There's stairs now. Yeah, okay,
You are
but
my prince. You have authorized the execution of the deputy.
Okay.
So the sheriff, when it's reported to them,
I don't want to be the prince.
will provide the answers and our boons.
Okay, but seriously, Eve, are you the prince? How long you been Prince Eve?
Since you turned me on.
Ooh. Sexy.
But it's okay, you thought of everything.
Thomas, who are we killing?
My prince, the job was already done.
Right. Okay.
However, it was the wrong time to reveal to the sheriff at the moment your machinations. And it is your prerogative on whether or not to share those things. My prince.
That's true.
Oh, this
The
is
prince
certain.
can probably do whatever they want. They don't have to tell anybody anything.
It's not my place to question the prince. Or my prince.
Second, make a wits plus drive roll, difficulty 8.
No. Let's drive. Where's my drive at? 1! Sweet. 2 successes.
All right. You are driving, you're taking corners, driving through New Haven. You come around the corner, and all of a sudden in front of you, you didn't see him a moment ago, there's an individual standing in the road. He has a long blade in his left hand, and in his right hand, he's holding up a severed head. You see him just in time to swerve to miss him, swerving off onto the sidewalk and taking out a couple trash cans before you scrape up against a dumpster.
I roll down the window. That much.
You look back, and all that's left is the severed head rolling in the street. Kind of seems as though maybe it was tossed your direction towards the van.
Do we want that head?
I don't think it's of any use to anyone anymore.
Should we at least see who it is? I go look at the head.
I go look at the head.
Make a self-control check.
Oh,
God.
boy. It's your head.
No.
No!
Botch.
You botch.
Yes.
You go, you pick up the head, you flip it around and immediately flip out as you're staring into the eyes of Nathan Sanchez.
Nathan!
Sacrificial lamb.
Nathan!
You kind of drop his head in the middle of the street and backpedal up against the edge of the vehicle and start scanning around with auspex as high as you can make it go, looking around for wherever the assailant went.
I was kind of curious what would happen since we hadn't seen him in a while. That's kind of weird.
Well, think of it this way.
I'll do this so I hear. And maybe I will.
Right now, in general, we are considered less than shit in this city.
I love you.
It's a good
All
point.
someone did was just clean up a bit that they might have stepped in.
I have to scream quietly now.
You probably were supposed to scream quietly the whole time.
Omar! It's Nathan's head! It's Nathan's head! That's Nathan's head! Omar, it's Nathan's head!
Oh, well,
You got a bag?
no,
We
I
can't leave
don't.
this out here. It's Nathan.
I mean, what are we gonna do with it? I don't
We're
have
gonna-
any use for it.
We're gonna bury it, Nathan.
I don't have a shovel. I think we should go.
Not a reason. I put Nathan in the back in Omar's lap. You took care of Nathan.
Ah, okay. Hey, Nathan.
All right. Second,
He starts
while
it-
we're thinking,
Hey,
just to
Omar.
airtight the story a little, my prince, I must ask, should I be discreet about how I discuss the matter with the sheriff?
Yeah, whatever you think is best, I think is the best idea that
That
we've
is
got.
perfect wording, second. That is perfect wording, my prince.
So I'm gonna drive. Thomas, what do you advise is the direction we should be going right now?
The Giovanni, I believe we need to pick them up, and we're going to need to pick up our invites.
Let's go get our invites.
We may want to get rid of this head before we pick up our business partners.
Omar, you take care of Nathan.
I am trying to. we should probably get rid of this. If we don't pull over and bury it, I'm just gonna throw it out the window again.
Maybe keep that back here.
Okay, I want to go to the streetiest streets place in New Haven.
All right.
It's New Haven.
All right.
Where the streets have no name.
You find a rundown end of town where there's there's just people out in the streets. There's
I just keep picturing New Haven, Connecticut, like where Yale is. It's like, we're just going to drop it on campus at Yale somewhere.
And then I'm going to...
Ooh, my bad.
I'm going to go to a storefront of... No, I'm going to find an office building.
okay.
Does it appear as if there is, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go to an office. No. What would he hate the most? A bank. He hates banks, right?
Yeah. He was protesting a bank earlier today.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to drive up to a bank. And then I want to smash through a window on the outside. I know it's going to trip the alarm. And then I want to throw I want to throw in 5 of my bottles of napalm on the inside. And then I want to spray paint They Got Nathan on the outside. And then I'm going to chuck Nathan's head in there too.
Okay. So you light this bank on fire. There's alarms going off.
Yeah.
You can hear some sirens in the distance.
Then I leave.
And you guys take off.
Yeah.
The place goes
what
up
he
in
would have
flames.
wanted.
It's what he would have
What
wanted.
he would have wanted.
It is what he would. Honestly,
This one's for Nathan, guys.
it's exactly
As
what he would have wanted.
you go to chuck the head in, you didn't notice it till you had it ready to chuck in. As you look down at his head, you notice he has some sort of an odd shaped cut, if you will, on like his temple. And you notice it as you lob his head in. You get a good look at it, enough you can remember it. Intellect occult. Difficulty 7.
One success only.
You see the symbol, you realize you've seen it before.
What's the symbol of?
It's an old language. It effectively means bounty.
Pricks.
You recognize it's the work of an Assamite.
That tracks.
I come back. Assamite got Nathan. I try and think about Assamites. How much do I know about them, actually? Or is it like coming to me in pieces?
You know that they're typically very, very... They're kind of rare. They're few in number. Yeah. You know that they're effectively an independent clan. They kind of work in between the Camarilla and the Sabbat, whichever one pays better or offers them the most benefit for whatever domain they happen to be in.
Well, I probably haven't met one then.
Oh, yeah, you have.
Oh, I have.
Oh, you have.
Oh, shit. Am I like... Do I know the one that did it?
He's the Scourge.
You are one.
Oh. What? Shit. I killed Nathan. Oh, Nathan, I'm sorry. Okay. Here's the plan. I think this will fix everything. Okay.
My prince, I don't think you killed Nathan. Nathan sat there and chose to work against the banking system. Remember how his sire had counseled him?
Well, yeah, but like if I'm the prince then, and the Scourge works for the prince, then the Scourge killed Nathan, then I killed Nathan. Because Eve's been the prince since I didn't... Okay, I didn't tell you about the stairs. Guys, there were stairs. So I put the prince in a box because he told me to. I go upstairs, and there's a whole room of of vampires, and they're all saying, are you the prince? And I said, I don't want to be the prince. And then I was like, I can figure this out. I can make them think I'm the prince, and then I can make Eve the prince, and so she's been the prince this whole time.
So
The prince is in my phone.
okay, so my prince, engage Eve and see if there's a bounty on the rest of us.
I grab my laptop. Eve,
Yep.
is there a bounty on the three of us?
No. There's bounties on 2 of you.
Cancel those bounties.
Those bounties come property of the sheriff. Are you asking to override your sheriff's commands?
Yep.
So you cancel them.
The sheriff is suspended without pay.
Don't discipline the sheriff yet.
Strike that. Eve, listen to Thomas.
Who
I can't be
were
trusted.
The bounties on, I'm assuming myself and Omar.
Yes. For the
That's
unlawful
logical.
destruction of a member of the domain.
Ah,
You know, it seems very likely that maybe Second put those bounties on our heads.
Hey, no. Okay,
Well,
I might have done that.
why
And
would
you
the
know what?
three
I-
of us
may have,
and not
the
you?
sheriff could have ran into the body or something else. Or
I
got
want you to
some
know
type
I'm
of
really
evidence.
sorry about that. And here's my idea. I say at this big party, I declare that I am the sheriff, that I am the prince, and I will be retaking this domain. And then I have Thomas here, like, challenge me for my princedom or something. And then Tom can just kill me, and then he can be the prince, and then that solves everything.
No, and I'll explain why. Basically, we're not powerful enough against our elders who've been here, who have more experience and more power.
Wait, if I'm the prince, then how? I'm very confused.
My prince, you are the prince.
But
It's all that
You are the
matters.
prince. Remember the traditions.
okay, so
Has anyone from a larger conveyance sat there and said that you're not the prince?
well, I guess not. So should I just should I put hits on our sires?
No, don't. Basically,
Tom, what do we do?
you've authorized the execution of that deputy.
Yep.
Therefore, the bounty was null. So Eve should send a message back that says, basically that they'll be reporting in with what they're allowed to say,
Eve,
and
what
that will
Thomas
be
just
from the
said.
prince.
What Thomas said.
Eve
What he
responds
said.
back. Is Thomas the prince now? Do we take
Did he
orders
kinda
from
die?
Thomas?
If authorized by me, yes. Right now, Thomas is authorized. Until I say he's not. Thomas has user status, admin status.
I don't think you need to go that far, my prince.
Your device pings, Thomas. It
Ugh.
says, congratulations, Seneschal.
Ooh, damn it. That would bump me above my sire and the one that she was worried about. Oh, that would be interesting.
What duties of Prince Sebastian would you like to carry out today, Seneschal?
Hold on, my name's Sebastian?
That is the name you gave yourself.
That's a dumb name.
So is second. You still go by that.
Ooh, Eve's got attitude.
Eve. Right now.
So is Adam
since
when
the
you called
bounties-
yourself that too.
When the bounties were canceled, I need you to shoot a direct message to them and say that this matter is set. The sheriff will be briefed by the agents that were hired to settle the issue that the bounty was laid upon.
Registering command. Command sent.
Excellent.
This is so much.
Waiting response from Sheriff Willis Vanderbeek.
This is a lot.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, second.
Now I got Eve telling me I have a bad name.
Would you like a new one?
Will that change things?
Pretty sure it'll change your name.
Well, if this is gonna be like, I don't know, like Prince or whatever, where one day he's got to tell his friends from now on, you got to call me Prince, and they're like, I'm not gonna do that. You know, is it gonna be like that? No.
As Prince, your word is law.
We'll leave it as is for now. Sorry, Eve.
First off, clear what we got. And I would assume, my prince, you would not wish to be identified to the sheriff, as you have not fully identified yourself to the sheriff in the past, correct?
No, I don't think so.
Eve has second identified himself as prince to the sheriff. Or the scourge.
Sheriff Willis Vanderbeek retained his position as he held under Prince Voltaire. He was notified as such.
Does he know second is the prince?
Of course not.
Okay.
I'm Sebastian.
And as such, you said, I am free to deem free to deign what's necessary information. Correct, my prince?
Yeah.
There we go. Now you understand how honesty works, with a bone of truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I put myself in a box. Okay, so I just need to go invite the Giovanni, and then that's it.
Nope, we bring the Giovanni. I go and brief the sheriff.
Okay. So then let's go to the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We go to the sheriff.
All right. So you head to...
Thank you,
Hey.
VTech.
Thanks for the subscribe.
Hey,
VTech.
VTech is back. Welcome back,
Generosity.
VTech. Thank you for the sub.
Welcome
You
back
guys-
from September.
Make your way out of the rundown part of town to the heights of New Haven, where you come across the, if you remember, skyscraper-ish like headquarters of this bank, which Nathan Sanchez may or may not have been protesting in front of during the daytime.
May or may not have.
You make your way there, where you run into the same sort of security you'd seen before, and the super ritzy elevator with the elevator music that takes you many, many stories up until you reach the penthouse of the sheriff, Willis Vanderbeek.
All right. I will go in and attempt to smooth this over.
And I will be his entourage.
You guys are heading up the elevators.
Yeah.
I will also be his entourage.
Little lights start flickering up. You get to the top. Ding. You enter his office area, for what lack of his penthouse, if you will. And you see he's standing behind his desk. He has just a long button-up shirt on with a vest on over it. Looking very... He's taken off his overcoat. It's draped across the back of his chair. He has a cigar on a dish burning, but he doesn't clearly smoke. It's just there for the aroma. He's fidgeting around on some papers, and he kind of glances up from his desk.
Hello, Sheriff Vanderbeek.
I suppose you've come to report on my missing deputy.
Yes, we have.
And what is it you have to say for yourselves?
He's executed with princely approval.
Now, I don't know what sort of tricks you've pulled in the span of 2 nights to have gotten audience with Prince Sebastian, and your name's cleared in such short order. But let it be known, this sort of bullshit would have never flied under a proper prince.
Now, if I might say, we kind of noticed the moment we saw the guy, and it took us time to get our audience. Think about it. It takes a couple days to be able to see someone. However, you have the information. I believe you owe us some boons.
Pulls up his device, punches on it. Paid in full.
Thank you. Pleasure doing business with you.
You see it registers on your accounts.
Nice.
I promise.
How much of
we are
Omar's
able-
boon debt does that wipe?
If you remember correctly, I
It's
believe
all wiped.
Omar sold his boon debt already out. So
Sure did. I don't even remember who I sold it to now. What did I
Yep.
do? It's
You
been so
sold it to
long.
the
I forget what I
Giovanni.
did.
I'm pretty sure that
That's right,
Giovanni
that's
took
right.
it on.
Giovanni just took
Ooh.
Yeah.
it. Hence why I own them.
Sheriff, if I were allowed to tell you about things, then I would.
I'll be
I'm
keeping
sure you
my eye on the
understand as
three
someone
of you.
who's been a member of the city much longer. I'm sure that you know much more of the machinations than we do.
Just know I'll be keeping an eye on you. I know what you did. That Gengo
Yes.
was a valued member of my team. You slaughtered him.
A valued member who was taken out by days-old vampires. And how old was that valued member?
Most of the kindred in this city are not that aged. Prince Voltaire saw to it. He was paranoid, untrusting of any kindred, who gathered up too much power.
So you can kind of see why we would have to, grab onto what we can at being the young pups that we are in this world.
Understood.
Oh, Rio, not only did Jeff die, we just got his head in the back of the van.
He dead. Jeff is dead.
However, as you've already killed one of our number already, who is on this authorized sanction by the prince, that could also be considered, what is that, thin ice? You did deplenish one of our number.
I ridded this domain of a member of our sworn enemy.
In that case, Job well done. Now, for Nathan's boon, that was unable to be paid since, unfortunately, your premature order. I have to admit, what was it? The Scourge is rather efficient.
He's experienced.
Quite so. I'm sure our prince will forgive us. Unfortunately, as you know, sometimes one hand doesn't know what the other's doing.
You best hope so.
When was the last time you, excuse me, sir, when was the last time that you had audience with the prince? If you don't mind my asking.
I last spoke with Prince Voltaire before he decided to take to slumber.
What
After
about
the
Prince Sebastian?
incident.
What incident?
You really are new here, aren't you?
Yes, we rep Fresh Blood Studios. We're just trying to make it here in New Haven.
Prince Voltaire, for the better part of a century, has waged an endless war against the Sabbat. For decades, this war was carried out in the streets. Bloodshed, violence. The Masquerade had come under threat many times, but myself, others, did what was necessary, collected security camera footage, cleared, scrubbed down facilities, took care of onlookers, as we had always done. But humanity, it kept pushing forward. Soon, the battles between us, between Prince Voltaire, Bishop Tyrone, becomes so bloodied, so obvious. Many of the cattle suddenly were carrying devices, making them capable of rapidly exposing the Masquerade. It only took one such incident.
That's all we need is Inquisition 2.0. The newer, more improved version with thermal goggles, night vision.
Prince Voltaire could no longer get to Bishop Tyrone. Not through the outright war which he so craved.
Well, there's always hope for World War III.
Okay, we need to secure some invitations for Elysium. Do we talk to you about that?
It's not my party.
Yeah.
How are we getting an audience with Prince Sebastian?
Oh, you did also owe us a invitation for our Giovanni friend.
That's correct. That I
Uh-huh.
can secure you.
Our invitations, I believe, are on our devices here.
Yes, since you got your names cleared, I suppose they will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds great.
He punches in his phone. Omar, you see you got a invitation for Natalia Giovanni,
Oh,
authorized by
+1.
Sheriff Willis Vanderbeek.
Fantastic. That's amazing. Everything's looking
See?
hunky-dory today.
it almost all totally worked out.
Okay, so we won't take up any more of your time. Thank you. You've been of great assistance. And do you know of any easy way to get a hold of Prince Sebastian?
He created an entire infrastructure, by which he is always at the palm of your hand.
When was the last time you were physically in a room with him?
He chooses not to be physically in a room with anyone. He destroyed Prince Voltaire. Now he's Prince.
Okay. Thank you, Deputy. Or Sheriff. Yes, that thing. Okay. Great.
I reach out to the sheriff and say, listen, I'm sorry for the loss of your lieutenant. Like
There'll be others. But he was a trusted
unfortunately-
member of my team.
We unfortunately do what we're ordered, don't we?
Enjoy
In the service of
Elysium.
our prince.
He sits down in his chair, kicks his feet up on his desk, and just kind of glares at you as you turn to leave his penthouse.
All right. And
You get back on the elevators, and the elevator music begins again as the starts to drop down.
at least it wasn't the Muzak version of Creeping Death.
Okay.
Be amazing.
Okay. So that makes a little more sense. That's good. So Giovanni and then party?
Yep.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Okay. Giovanni then party. And then if the party's physical, am I just gonna... I mean, it's my party, right?
I guess
Did I
so.
throw this? I look at the Elysium Invitation. Did I send it?
Yeah!
What the fuck?
So,
All that work we went through.
Wow.
It's okay.
Is it?
Now-
I don't want any of this.
Now, my prince, I must
Ugh.
now ask another thing.
Yes, my Thomas.
There we go. That's good.
What's ominous?
Now-
I hated that.
My sire has asked me not to mention her to the Tremere Primogen of the city, who I'm to meet tonight at this soiree. Do I have your authorization to sit there and say I am not allowed to talk about my sire and
Yep.
maintain her discretion?
Yep.
Excellent.
Okay.
We're passing a bone tonight.
Okay. Okay. So, to Giovanni House Hotel, Fantastico.
oh no, it's got a name. What is it called?
The Vineyard.
The Vineyard. Yes.
Yep.
Here.
To the Vineyard.
That's the high-end stuff, and we're gonna work up the low-end market for you, so that way, you know, you catch both ends.
All right. You
We
guys
own them.
make your way out to the vineyard. And when you get there, you see 4 or 5 nondescript black, like, vans parked out front. Thomas,
An entourage.
make an intellect plus occult roll.
Oh, it's like that. Pesky dice. Of course, I wouldn't have roll 20 open. That'd be like smart.
It says you're
Yeah,
logged
we don't
in.
need that. Just because you logged in
I
doesn't
gotta
mean
have it in a different window then.
Ah.
Where did I hide it?
Everywhere.
Open up the box, Thomas. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the bowl?
We've already had a
don't
severed
come over
head,
here.
so
That's
we're
true.
We're already past that part.
Just put it in a box. Spoilers. Spoilers. In case you haven't seen that movie in the last 27 years, or however long it's been.
A lot.
Like, oh my, wow! I just felt the old. Thanks, guys.
The box is full of goop.
It sure was. I love it. I love it. Good work, VTech. Good work.
Well played.
It's people.
Is there a roll coming? Did I miss it?
Did I miss it?
No, you haven't missed it. I'm just
Okay, just making sure I wasn't.
Because it was
missing
saying it.
something.
You know, your end was saying I was logged in, but my end was like, you need to sign in.
Gotcha.
So somehow my computer had tricked Roll20 to think that I'm still logged in.
He never left.
Damn you, Eve!
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so-
normally would like defend her, but not anymore. I'm
You can
I don't know, I'm
check out
pretty torn.
anytime you like, but you can never leave.
you guys haven't found that yet.
Wits in a cult.
It's a secret.
What's gold?
I got a lot of dice for this.
This is my role.
I don't anticipate you'll fail this. I just need to know by how much you succeed.
You know, that's the trick with White Wolf, man. You roll a lot of dice, you have a lot of risk of failing, too.
Only a 1 in
But-
10.
No, I
Yep.
felt that before.
Yeah, but
That's because
I've
Levi
got-
only rolls ones
That's right. I do it like a champ.
on any die.
What was the difficulty?
7.
All right, so I have 1 success because I had rolled 2 10s and a 1, and
Oh.
re-rolled my 10s and
Didn't get a 7.
got no successes the second time. So
Okay.
1 success.
So you pull up and you look and you realize, man, these vans seem familiar. Like, you're not sure if they're the exact vans, but you're pretty sure you have seen this line of vans before.
Are these the vans our sires drove?
No. No. Your sires drove
yeah.
Escalades, like dark black
yeah.
Escalades. And by that I mean
Yeah.
Chandra had an Escalade. You never saw anyone else's. So actually, you saw Tyrone's vehicle.
No, I
He-
got hit with one, so
That's right, you did.
Got hit in the Escalade.
I got real close to that one. I have a good idea of what it looks like now.
You might know what the exhaust smells like a bit.
Yeah.
You stop.
I'm familiar with the
Thomas.
undercarriage.
It almost stops you dead in your tracks as you're walking past them. You've seen these vans before. You can't place exactly where. Somewhere in your cultish
Oh.
compound, you have seen these vans come and go.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
What's fan fun? Well, none of this is fan fucking tastic. I don't want this job, and apparently, I've always had this job.
I don't think there is a job that you would want. So how is it any different?
No, this is bad. I don't want this. Do you want it? I will happily make you the person.
I don't think
You
you can
know-
do that, and I definitely don't want
I
it.
bet I can.
You know, go ahead and get the young Lady Scion of the Tremere. And let's let her know about her invitation.
You mean the Giovanni?
Giovanni.
Not
I was
Giovanni,
like,
that's right.
wait, what's
I
happening?
was making sure I knew who you were referring to also, because I thought you meant Giovanni. I was just making sure we
Yeah, I
understood you right.
I was confused
yeah,
for a minute.
because
I was like,
while they're
when's this
doing that,
happening?
I'm doing stuff like sniffing around the van, and just kind of like trying to do this casually, just
You look around the van, and as you get closer, I would assume you will kick on off specs instinctively. You
Yep.
kind of peering through the van. You see there's drivers in the vans. So as you get closer, the drivers are there. They kind of eyeball you a bit, but they don't make any action As long as you don't try to get into the vans or anything, they don't. They just kind of let you walk around them. Keep an eye on you, however. When you see a couple of the drivers, the flashbacks kind of kick in a bit. You remember them picking you up the first time. They put you into these vans. They drove you to the compound.
Oh, God.
And then you remember, occasionally, those who become chosen get picked up and taken away in the van. You'd always hope to be one who would get chosen.
Yeah. I did. Up until, I'd gotten out, went to college for that little bit. Thought it was all behind. Then you learn that life sits there and kind of kicks you in the balls.
But Thomas, what's wrong? You said something is fantastic, and I disagree. But what specifically is bothering you right now?
Touch of history.
Do we need to blow it up?
Not at this point.
Okay.
Now, Thomas, you have been given what you thought you had been working for most of your adolescence and adult life.
Yeah.
You
That
had
is like
groomed for this, and it was given to you, but it was not given to you in the way that you were told it'd be given to you.
not at all.
You woke up in a bathtub with a maimed body hanging over you. You were never picked up by black vans. You were never taken for your ascension the way they said you would be.
Yeah, this is... May have some questions for our Giovanni Scion here.
And as you're thinking that, she comes walking out the front doors with her butler, if you will. Omar, thank you so much. You have done very well.
I know. We did what we said
right
we
on
would.
here. One invite to Elysium. This is fantastic. I have almost all the preparations made.
Great.
Mama and Papa would be very proud of what we do this day.
I'm glad they're proud of you. I never met them.
Now, as we are in charge of hors d'oeuvres for the Elysium, I have secured these vehicles to carry our assets to the building itself, where we will be able to properly see to the nourishment of our most distinguished guests.
Interesting. Where did these vehicles come from? I hadn't seen them before.
Oh, these are used regularly by the family.
Oh. All right, good to know. If we see those in the future, we'll know.
Okay. So, let's go to Elysium. This sounds great. Let's do all that. And okay.
So
So
you
these
see,
old vehicles you've had for a long time, or acquisitions, or...
well, some of the most refined taste in the domain have long, certain blood's been cultivated for refined palates.
Gotcha.
And
The vineyard is literally the vineyard.
indeed.
Indeed.
Sometimes for the processing of specific blood wines. Sometimes they like to pick the grapes directly from the vine. You see she claps her hands a couple of times, and a couple of her butlers go and they open up a set of doors. And you see rows of what you can tell through auspex are mortals by the looks of their auras.
Mm-hmm.
clad in the robes of your people, with their heads down in obedience, as you remember doing many times before, and they slowly walk out, groups of 6, 3 along each side as they climb into the back of the vans. Silently, they fill all 5 of the vans. Doors are shut behind
those
them.
who do give.
You hear her say to one of them, "Be careful with the products, be careful with the products. Remember, these are chosen ones. Make sure they make it to Elysium. No troubles." You see she's giving commands to the to the drivers and to the entourage, if you will. She turns around, looks at Omar. Well, the only thing left now is to secure the cargo shipment of the blood wine bottles. We'll be ready to go.
Fantastic.
And we're never going to be ready to go, but yes, what you said. Okay. Thomas, is everything okay?
Everything is as it should be at the moment.
Okay. Great. Then let's go to the party. And if I get in the van at this point, are we gonna have to like deal with the Giovanni now?
We got in bed with them already.
Okay.
We are already dealing with the Giovanni.
Okay. Well then, let's go to the big party that apparently I threw.
You know, at some point when we get a chance, I may tell you some stories.
Well, that's better than me just remembering stuff that just shows up that is entirely life-altering.
Hey, it's okay. Remember, I just recently, had something come back up from my childhood with seeing spirits again. So, speaking of which, yeah, you remember at the van thing where I was like, turn on your aura perception and look right there,
Yeah?
and you saw something.
Yeah.
Was it physically there?
Right.
Yeah.
So you have ghosts.
Yeah, I've been able to see ghosts since I was a kid. It was on and off, and kind of, lost it when.
Is that fun?
You tell me.
Oh, well, I don't know. Does it count? I mean, I think what's going on with me would be closer to, I don't know, a weird fugue or maybe DID. I don't know.
You try waking up as a child with a person holding their own head and telling you stories.
Okay. Yeah, my childhood was better than that, so yeah. You got me there. Okay, let me check to see if I wrote any decent directions on this invitation. So I checked my own invitation that I sent. Does it clearly lead me to Elysium?
Yes.
See, that right there, I'm shit at directions, so this is already frustrating. I'm starting to not. Okay. So, we have that direction.
It takes you to a large, national, cemetery. The kind where entire units of, veterans are buried with the almost cookie-cutter-like tombstones.
Like Arlington?
Yeah, similar, but not nearly that big. But you get the idea. And in the midst of there is a very large war monument and mausoleum.
Okay. Eve, on my phone, provide one warrant of release for privacy and questioning from my Primogen.
Granted. Seneschal.
Upon order of Prince. Thank you. Just in case someone asks to see some proof.
You drive your way through the city streets. So you get sort of towards the edge of like the outskirts of town. The only places where large enough plots would have been secured for the area needed for a cemetery of this size.
Are we driving to our own, like, destruction? It feels like that, right? Is that just me?
I'm pretty
Every
sure that's
day we
always a
live, We are one
possibility.
day closer to our destruction.
Okay, yes, I agree with the general philosophy, but I'm just saying, like, are people definitely going to try and kill us tonight?
Haven't you realized it? We're always in the process of someone trying to kill us somewhere.
Oh my god.
I felt like someone's been trying to kill me since the day we woke up in the facility.
They're
that's fair.
a little over a month late on the killing part. Now we just worry about final death.
All right. Well, we're doing this for Nathan. Okay. So we
Yep.
pull up to the big mausoleum.
You pull up to the big mausoleum with the entourage of the one large white van that has all the blood wine bottles in it, and the 5 preceding black vans full of cultists. They pull their way up there to the large Mausoleum, and they all start to the crews all start to get out and start to make the preparations. Natalia gets out, walks over to Zormar. Good, we are here plenty early. This will give us plenty of time to do what we need to do. Now quickly
Fantastic.
help usher the robed ones down to the vault. That's where they'll be needed. And then if you could, use those bulging muscles of yours to help load these large crates of blood wine into the mausoleum itself.
He looks around. Oh, you're talking to me. The muscles? I don't think I've ever heard that before, but sure, no problem. Picks up the
getting
crates
somewhere.
because he's got potence.
Nobody ever compliments you, so that's a good thing. You should hang on to, like, she might like you.
It actually
You might
makes
have
me
an-
suspicious.
You guys know how to recite your traditions, right?
I have edict memory. So in this case, if I don't remember, my character still might remember.
All right, so Omar's got some crates of blood wine, and you can hear the bottles kind of jingle around a bit as he's walking up towards the mausoleum with one under kind of each arm, and some of the larger bodyguard-looking types are all hoisting with 2 hands sets of blood wine bottles up the path kind of behind him. And in the meantime, you see the 30-some robed figures all reassembling in a line and begin to march their way down into one of the crypts. Second, you stand here and you see them marching their way down.
Is that the staircase?
It's the staircase.
All right, so I really want to go down that staircase and just open up. There's a box down there, and the box down there has a dead prince in it. Right in there, right now.
Well,
That sounds like something to do after we've
Yeah.
completed our engagements and we're fully integrated into society. Otherwise, some no-name screw-offs who are around could be pretty easy to bump off because they're not fully a part of the city and the ecosystem
That's
yet?
why I'm really happy to have you guys on as my cabinet. You're an excellent sounding board. Okay. Let's do this. Whatever's about to happen, that will probably be bad.
So where are you guys going?
Well, is everything set as far as the wine and dudes and that part of the Giovanni part of it?
You make your way into the mausoleum, and it's the inside. Like I said, it's kind of a war memorial. There's kind of in the way a museum is often set up. There's kind of a information like areas on all the different like sectors of this graveyard, and where all the people who are buried in each sector, which wars they had served in, and kind of a list of names and what companies they were in and what battles and engagements they were kind of part of. And there's like kind of memorialized depictions of what a lot of those battles were and like what wars they were in. And it's a almost more museum like than it is an actual mausoleum. It just is a centerpiece of this.
There's a ghost.
And you're there, and you're seeing all of this stuff, and you realize like kind of what this place is as you're bringing in and setting in all the crates of blood wine.
Of course, someone would want a ghost to haunt me because it's we're in a graveyard. I mean,
It's apropos.
it really is.
So you're standing there, Thomas, and you see the line of robed figures. They each raise one left hand and place it on the shoulder in front of them, keeping their right hand down to their side, and they're slowly led down into the crypt. It's about that time you feel a hand on your left shoulder also.
Yep, I'll casually turn back a little.
You turn back and you see a very similar but clearly translucent figure behind you. Looks emaciated underneath the robe. This is where they take us.
I kind of mutter just a little bit. Not all of us.
This is what we were bred for.
Some of us ascended further.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm the prince, so I guess so. But
what can I say? Sometimes you have a bit of extra company around. I just kind of nod behind me.
you sure you don't want this job, Tom? I think you do a good job.
Everything we were taught was to serve him. And it takes its hand off your shoulder and walks past you and right through Second, who doesn't notice a thing. And it makes its way down into the crypt.
Well, after you.
Well, I'll go down in that crypt then, I guess. Have their sweet rave parties.
Sweet rave party.
You guys go down to the crypt?
Yep.
You guys make your
You
way
remember the traditions, right?
down into the
Is the
crypt.
sensory deprivation chamber right there?
You make your way down into the crypt, and where a sarcophagus once sat, you see the locked sensory deprivation chamber.
Oh, Jesus. Are people lined up around it or just walking past it?
They're lining up around it, as though they're about to begin some manner of ritual.
Fantastic.
They all draw forth ceremonial blades. It's at this point you recognize the emblem atop the chamber. That of a single rose.
Should we be trying to stop this? Should we just let this go? What's going on?
If we stop this, then, their lives will have had no purpose.
Okay. I feel like we're about to just get like another boss that's going to be worse than all of our other bosses have been so far.
Remember, this is the vineyard, or, the vineyard product. We will see where things go. We have a party to attend.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They begin chanting.
This second is part of my summers. Learning the chant.
It's a messed up summer camp you went to.
Yeah.
I'm going to check to see... Well, no, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait to see what happens. Oh, this is terrible.
Are you staying down there or are you heading up to the party?
I don't know. Should we stay for this or should we just go to the party?
Well, it'd be a shame to be late for, something where we worked hard to get an invite for
Okay,
Giovanni.
okay. So
I
we'll go to the
personally
party.
don't care how the sausage is made.
We go to the party.
Okay. So, you guys make your way back out of the crypt to the sounds of chanting going on down below. You walk your way up into the Mausoleum War Memorial, where you find Omar is busy reading about the Battle of the Bulge. You see various other ghouls and tenants are busy taking the crates of wine and are taking them throughout the facility. As you wander through, you see various members of the domain standing around. You don't know them, you haven't met them. You do see Tasha, one of the harpies, is busy talking with a couple of them. Everyone's kind of giving you kind of the side eye, and you see there's whispers going on amongst many of them as you walk by.
I'll turn on Auspic so I can get a general idea of what the chatter's about.
You hear one say to another, like, I think these are neonates. New ones. Another says no. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure. I think that one could be Prince.
Oh no, this is bullshit right here. Alright, I'm going to use Eyes of Chaos on the general party and see where the patterns imply I belong or should go. And I got 3 successes.
3 successes. Well, you are well aware that there is a rather large, I guess a fountain of sorts in the middle of this structure.
It's like a podium.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you would be the most visible and where your voice would carry the most if you were to try to address the rest of the domain in general. You see as you move through, there are some who start to kind of fall in behind to head to the area where you're kind of naturally walking towards as you go through these kind of side exhibits, if you will, that talk about these various battles.
am I starting this?
There seems to be some confusion amongst many in the domain. You get the sense that most of them are waiting, maybe for the first time, to meet Prince Sebastian themselves.
I type a message to Eve. Let them know the prince will not be physically attending. And that, they're to go through the proper ceremonies led by who would be the next person in charge here. Not the Seneschal, because, that's me at the moment.
It'd be the Harpy, right?
Yep. Tasha.
That would be Tasha.
She laughs hideously.
You see, as you send out the message, it takes about a 5-6 second delay before you see various members who are standing around all suddenly check their devices. And you hear one of them kind of jokingly say, "Ha, there you go again. It's typical Prince Sebastian. Always leaving us hanging. Well, at least we didn't get dressed up for nothing. Where's the blood wine?" They start, a few more of them kind of chuckle around like... You get almost the same sort of feel that you get when you show up for a class in college and the professor doesn't show up on time. So then everyone's just kind of like, hey, if he's in here in 10 minutes, we all get to leave, right? Like, we don't have to stick around for this thing if,
Should I get up there and start making decrees and stuff?
I'm pretty sure Tasha's in charge now. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tasha's leading the ceremony. Looks like Tasha's leading the ceremony. Check your message. See, it's right in there.
So you see, slowly Tasha makes her way up there to the front and sort of addresses the domain briefly, apologizes for the absence of the prince. He's been pulled away on incredibly important detail.
Incredibly important.
He is handling the unfortunate destruction of one of the domain's deputies. Where she then briefly goes over the service record of the gangrel in question. And then reassures everyone that the prince's justice is being carried out. And reminds everyone that walking amongst the streets this night, the prince's scourge is active, has been tapped to oversee that justice is carried out. And that so long as they are not accomplice to these crimes, everything will be handled and they need not fear for their lives. As mention of the scourge seems to draw a fair amount of gasp and whispers amongst the crowd.
This seems silly. What if I just tell him? What if I just tell everybody everything? Is that a problem?
Most likely, it would be a problem.
Yeah. Hold on to it.
Okay. So when do they try and bone of truth you?
When I meet with my primogen.
Okay. So, which one's the primogen?
Well, if you tune your Auspex dial to 995, right? In the kilohertz band, you'll see these weird
UHF.
sparklies in the aura.
Oh, I try that.
You look around and you can see standing over, kind of off on the side, you see what appears to be a kind of a tall, slender man with blondish gray hair. It appears to be maybe his 50s.
Would that be him? Tom, is that him?
Could be. See any others with those sparklies?
Nope. I approach.
Start looking at me.
Oh, does he have sparklies?
Yeah.
Okay, then yes.
There you go. That's how you pick us out of a crowd.
As you begin to walk up his direction, he obviously notices you. As you get closer, he leans up against the pillar and addresses you. Welcome. I am Anatoly. You must be Thomas Weller. Welcome to Elysium.
I walk up from behind Levi and say, yes, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, my primogen.
It is a rare day that one of Prince Voltaire's flock is plucked to be brought into the fold the way that you have been.
It is certainly unique and a different experience than from how I was raised.
You must have excelled in your learnings. This is good. You have much more you can learn from me.
I imagine there are, like, at least a millennia or two?
We'll have much time to converse over learnings. In the meantime, we must vet you. Oh, we got another ghost.
It's a ghost.
During the vetting.
During the vetting.
Of course.
So he instructs you to go ahead and follow him over into one of the exhibits, kind of away from everybody else.
Of course.
He pulls
I
out
follow.
from his pocket a probably 2 foot long, kind of pulls it out almost the way that you would draw a sword from his belt. This like a long femur. It's got ribbons, runes etched into it. Hold out your hands. Take these. Do you know what this is?
Well, from the looks of this, I take a little sniff. I'd say this is a bone of truth.
Yes. Do you know how it work?
Well, if I tell something that isn't the truth, it will darken.
Correct. So tell me. Tell me, Thomas Weller. Is that your real name?
Yes, as you know from, or at least to my knowledge, it's my real name. I should say that would be the more honest answer. I mean, you know, Anatoly's flock does adopt young. For all I know, I could have been a foundling.
Let's see.
I assume you want the most honest answer, correct?
Of course. We do not use instruments such as bone or lies if we do not wish to ascertain truth. So tell me then, What magics have you been shown?
I've been walking the road of blood. I have learned how to taste and gauge the age and certain certain bits about folk from their from other kindred from their blood.
You developed your tongue. This is good. Now, with your tongue, have you sworn allegiance to the Camarilla?
I've sworn no allegiances except to my prince.
And who is your prince?
Why, my prince is the prince.
And by what name is he known?
My prince requires discretion.
There are those in this domain who blindly follow Prince Sebastian. Yet, meeting at a gathering, he does not show.
Is it not a prince's prerogative?
Prerogative, yes. Ill-advised, probably also.
Could be seen as weakness.
And then there are those who believe that Prince Voltaire has not been destroyed, that he slumbers.
I don't know what to say to such information.
Tell me, Thomas Weller, have you participated
Thanks for the raid, zombie.
Thanks for the
Welcome back, guys.
raid.
in the rituals of the Sabbat?
I have not participated, as is it not evidenced upon my head? I was told of the mark that develops.
Indeed, you do not bear the mark.
Is it not some weird bastardization of blood magic that is done?
You've been trained well.
Well, one must know to look for the mark, right?
Seems you've been
Lest
told
one
much.
sit there and fall.
What is it that drives you? What is it you wish to gain with all the years that have been granted to you with our blood?
Well, as one who did well in my studies in the flock that was acquired, of course I want more knowledge of what I have become.
Do you have a proper instructor, a sire?
I do.
Do you
But
maintain...
of course, is it not everyone who can petition for, more instruction if needed from the Chantry?
Indeed. But typically these things are handled through your sire. If a sire is such available.
I shall make a note.
Is your sire such available?
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask them.
Typical neonates. They meddle with things Do not stick around to clean up mess.
Well, that is the thing, you know. Sometimes, what is it? A bird doesn't develop until it's pushed out of the nest. It doesn't know that it can fly. The mother bird will feed the baby bird until it's grown enough to where, you know, the guesstimate is such a bird can fly.
Spoken like a true gangrel. Speak of birds.
Come now, how many other clans sat there and chose their path? Did Tremere not sit there and eventually eject himself from the nest?
I suppose we have. You are a bit of an anomaly to me. There are few who arrive in this domain who are given the blood without my approval. But Prince Sebastian, he plays by new sets of rules unheard of under Prince Voltaire. He organizes the city's kindred through these devices that I do not fully understand. Many with age such as mine have been driven underground to slumber, to wait for this fad to pass. But me, I tried to remain stalwart at my post.
That's very Tremere. You know, essentially fighting off, you know, think of it this way. You are like Tremere in the past, fighting off against the dying of magic. And latching on to what ways you can to sit there and preserve those ways.
We shall see what is preserved. He grabs the bone and pulls it back away from you. There is still much about you that is unknown.
Nothing else. I hope you can tell. I'm definitely wanting to learn as much as I can.
Oh, this night I think you will learn a lot. Stay
I hope
close.
so.
You will
You know,
see soon
what-
enough.
I would ask you a question.
What?
Amongst gifts among our kind, how many people develop the ability to perceive spirits?
To perceive spirits?
Yes.
There are some amongst our kind who delve into the arts of necromancy. This is a taboo thing for most, minus a few members of the Giovanni who will claim such sorceries. It is
And
nothing that we typically meddle in here amongst the Tremere.
I guess another good question would be this. And if one of Anatoly's flock had an ability, an affinity with spirits,
Then what?
would that possibly have marked them as different enough to have a different ascension?
Potentially. Do you see spirits, Thomas Weller?
There's a part of me that just wants to break character right now. I see dead people.
All the time.
Anatoly, I tell this to you. Yes, I do see those who are not passed, or who have passed but still have remnants.
Then this place must be maddening to you. The dead are everywhere.
At times, unfortunately, I do not have a means to control the when I'm approached.
You should stay close then. Stay by my side and you will not be harmed. The conflict to come.
Is something happening tonight, or just?
About this time, Omar is setting up. You got everything in place, and Natalia comes up and finds you.
Hello. I'm so glad we could get your invitation.
I'm very glad that I was able to make it. It's working quite well. We have everything in place.
I feel like after tasting, we're going to get a lot more orders than we've been getting in the past.
Oh, I believe you are quite correct. Everybody seems to be enjoying the product.
And why wouldn't they?
Now, I suppose I should warn you. It would be a good time to find shelter.
Oh.
For some reason, I had a feeling something like this might happen.
There it is. There it is.
Where would you suggest? What am I sheltering from?
The prince has returned. The ritual is
Fantastic.
complete. All of our boon debts will go away.
I don't have any boon debts.
My boon debts will go away. The ones that I acquired from you. Just as soon as Prince Voltaire emerges from his crypt.
Oh. Well, that was not exactly what I expected. Feel like that may have been something you could have told me beforehand, but you know, we've all got our business secrets, I suppose.
Mommy and Papi would be so proud. They were such Voltaire supporters in their time. With Prince Voltaire back, the other elders would be able to rise once again, safely claim their spot back in these domains.
As long as all the elders are still interested in our business proposition, I guess everything will be fine.
They have the most refined palates of all.
Fantastic. I've got the most refined distribution of all.
And that is where we'll wrap for tonight.
Nice.
I had a feeling some ill shit was gonna go down.
For a second there, I thought that all the blood wine is poisoned and the prince is going to kill everybody.
That
Or bombs.
crossed my
like something
mind
that- yeah.
for a minute, but then I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure about that one.
And when we went down in a crypt, I'm like, man, if we like stake or diablerize this guy, we got witnesses we got to take care of, and you know that's a lot of witnesses.
Yeah.
A lot of witnesses.
Well, all right, everyone.
Whew.
We will be back in 2 weeks, hopefully. If the scheduling woes don't continue, we'll be back
This
in
is a
2
really,
weeks.
this is a really fruit-forward wine.
We'll be back
elder vintage.
We'll be back in 2 weeks for what will probably be the final chapter of iKindred.
Ba-boom.
Yeah, with the prince coming back. Yes, probably.
Well, you see.
And
Well, I got what I
maybe-
wanted. I'm not the prince anymore, so that's cool.
And maybe, just maybe, unravel the small bits of the rest of this plot that are left to kind of unearth, if you will. So you can find us back here in 2 weeks, 10 p.m. Central Time, for what will be Chapter 10 of iKindred,
Where Omar takes over the world.
where Omar takes over the world. That's what it's going to be titled. Omar takes
Where
over the world.
Omar takes over the world.
Turns
hey,
out-
I'm in charge of the world.
You know, second may have been Sebastian, but Omar is Voltaire. So don't worry.
Who knew? Who knew?
Oh.
Omar certainly did.
Justicar Omar. That's right. He's Archon. He's Archon Omar. Rolls in.
Right.
Let's see. What do we got going on here? We need to announce on our way out.
I don't know. There's much going on this weekend.
This weekend we don't have anything.
Yeah.
That'll bring us around to Monday night,
But
where
next week.
hopefully, I think next Monday me and Jeff will be back. I don't think he has a con this weekend, if I remember.
Do you guys have the
correctly.
new Jackbox?
Jeff has a new Jackbox, and we will be playing some games out of it with the community at 10 p.m. Monday.
Nice.
So
Ooh, doggy.
tune
So
back.
he's not
in
going
for
to
that.
Gamehole Con?
Is that this weekend? He is gone this
Yep.
weekend. Well, we will see if
We
that
don't know.
happens on Monday. We're hoping to be back for new Jackbox hype. We got a pretty good group from the community to hop in, play some games with us on our Discord. So by all means, the commands are all currently broken right now for Streamlabs, so I can't put the Discord link up there. But those of you who've been around here long enough, you know where to find us for that Discord. You can hop in there Monday nights, play with me, games with me and Jeff. It's a good time. Then next week on Thursday, normally you would be tuning in for big dumb fun with Yeehaw, but Yeehaw is on
Nothing is normal. Thank
is
you,
on a
September.
one game session hiatus because 1 week from tomorrow, the 28th of October, we are bringing an end to a 3-year-long D&D 5e campaign called Everstorm.
The Everstorm.
So
And
last Everstorm is going to be next Thursday.
8 p.m. Central Time for the start time. We are starting early.
Yeah, we're starting early.
We are running late.
We're doing it all.
It will go on as long as it has to
might
until
be
we bring this
forever.
thing to an end. So
It'll be
yeah,
a lot.
thank you, Buffering.
There you go, Jeff. I tossed an invite out in the.
And,
Justin.
Yeah, oh, thank you there, Buffering. Yeah, so you can use that Discord invite right there to
nice.
get into the Discord. Make sure you're in there because I think on Monday we may be exploring some new games that may require you to be in voice chat with us. So you'll have to be in the Discord and in the TT2KB live channel with us in order to participate in some of those games. Because if there's new ones out there, we're definitely going to want to try them. And some of those do require voice communication, like Talking Points, Patently Stupid, those sorts of games. If there's any of those in the new pack, we definitely want to be able to try them out as well. So maybe a smaller, a little more intimate crowd coming on Monday for community night. That'll be done. And then again, next Thursday is our D&D 5e Everstorm, End of Everstorm special, where my character Bowron and Cameron's character Morgaine and the rest of the crew, we're heading to a storm spire. We're going to break shit.
For shenanigans.
And when I say we break shit, I ain't talking about the Storm Spire. I'm talking about all of Levi's hopes and dreams for how this campaign ends. And then we're going to just bring this thing, put a nice big old bow on it. And you may or may not get Levi to spill some beans that night about what's next. He likes to be pretty tight-lipped about things. You may have to wait till the reunion special.
Yeah, what we're gonna do is the reunion special. What we're gonna do is after that Everstorm, then we'll have one more where we all just get together and everybody's going to deliver what their character's epilogue is going to be. And then we'll answer questions if anybody has any about Everstorm. And then we'll unveil the new game and talk about that a little bit too. So.
Hell yeah.
Well, there you go. So, Levi won't be spilling the beans during the Everstorm season finale special.
Let it have its moment.
We'll all be here for that game, 8 p.m. And then we'll get back to talk about epilogues at a further date than beyond that, which is yet to be determined, but it will be happening. Am I going to be doing a new game? That is a good question, Malice. So, because I do have one game session left here, I will tip my hat a little bit. I am writing. I never stop working on a game.
Not doing that.
It isn't quite ready yet. It won't be Zweihander, I can tell you that much. I ran 3 Zweihander campaigns.
Yeah.
Kicked over, did some Vampire the Masquerade. My next campaign that I'm going to be running is going to be Pathfinder 2.
Nice.
Cool.
I've got a rough skeleton of an idea what I want to do with it. I have not decided what I want to do for player base. If I want to outsource to the community like I did for Zweihander and put together a community-based game, or if I want to try to keep it amongst my friends here at T2KB. I haven't decided on time slots and things because things are so different than they were when I started running these games on Sundays for Zweihander and every other Wednesday. So as we're working our scheduling woes with D&D and everything else, we're talking about different nights for the upcoming game that'll take place after Everstorm and stuff. So as we're figuring that scheduling out, once we get into a little better rhythm, probably after the holidays.
All of our scheduling is going to shuffle around a little bit because all our scheduling has gotten complicated.
So get my slack ass in New World. Yeah, I know. I need to start busting out some levels on New World. So I will be probably attempting Pathfinder sometime after the new year. I'm going to spend the rest of this year doing some base level writing. I can tell you this much: every one of my games I do a little differently than the previous one. My 3 Zweihander campaigns had a certain feel, everything to them. iKindred, I kind of wanted a little more psychological thriller sort of feel to what was going on with a lot of it, more so than the epic kind of story that I told with Zweihander, the ghost stories.
Mission accomplished.
What I want to do with Pathfinder 2, it's going to be a lot of map making, but I want to do a legit dungeon delve. So
nice.
I want there to be a story involved with it. I don't want it to just be maps and combat for the sake of combat, but I think Pathfinder 2 does an exceptional job with those kinds of systems.
Yeah.
So if we're going to run that system, that's what I want to do with it. So I'm going to be tearing into those books over the rest of this year, putting together a game and a shit ton of maps in Roll20, and have that hopefully ready sometime in the new year, and then pick a night every other week or so to be able to try to drop that in there, make every other Sunday, or maybe not Wednesday. Middle of the week seems like it's gotten rough for everyone too, so maybe go back to the weekend and put it on Sunday, something like that. So we'll figure that out when the time comes, and I'll see who's available at that time amongst the guys here at T2KB, or getting a guest such as like Boffer to join us. Either way, I'll definitely get players for it down the road, and that'll definitely be something that happens. So
I've heard I'm available for about 6 months.
Thank you, VTAC. We're never going to stop.
Yeah,
we're all addicts, so
we do. We're kind of in this weird transition phase where like several of our games are kind of coming to a close, and we haven't really picked up with anything new to really replace it yet. So and then scheduling just went to hell in a handbasket. Yeah. So, there's always talks about what things we want to bring back or what things we want to do next. And so just stay tuned, and you should be able to catch up on all the stuff we got coming down the pipe. I'm excited for what's next. So
I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited for more cocaine hornets.
Freaking Yeehaw. Yeah, so when Everstorm is done, 2 weeks after that, we will be resuming Yeehaw. It's not going away for
2
good.
weeks after, Yeehaw's
we should say that. It is just taking a 1 week hiatus so that we can finish Everstorm, and then we'll be back to cocaine hornets.
Having a heavy improv stupidity game has been a nice band-aid for the whole group. So
yeah, it's been a hell of a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun playing Lafayette, so I had a lot of fun playing Duke and Don't Sleep before that. So it's been it's been a good time. Yeah, it definitely is, and it's again, these games that we run midweek are usually geared for chat interaction, and Levi's done a fantastic job of kind of leading the way on some of that with games that are interactive for you guys, the fans, to be able to get involved with and make shit happen.
Come by and hit them with Calamity more. They're all still alive. It's not what I expected.
We were all really close to dead, and then somebody gave us a month-long coma to sleep it all off.
That's true.
Hey, that evil witch Greeny Day summoned the evil tornado September, knocked all everybody out for a full month till they got beards.
We got beards.
Canon beards.
Canon beards. Now we all have to have hats and beards for the next year. Okay. Start growing them now. You got a month to grow it out. You got to start growing it now.
Look, man, it's so easy. Even my mic has a beard, right?
I just officially got married, and I would have to get officially divorced, I think, if I grew a beard.
Well,
she would not be excited about that.
See, the secret is to have your, when you can nickname your spouse the Beard Maiden, you got your in, right?
The Beard Maiden.
She defends the honor of the beard, man. She's already threatened to cut someone if they touch it.
I mean, she would just threaten to cut it off of me, I think, is what she would do.
Oh, no.
I mean,
that's
the beard.
Why you should have went in long and glorious with it. And then that way, they're more like, I got to keep it.
Well, Boffrin certainly has the best beard in the business. It sounds like there's a Game Hole Con going on this weekend, too. Boffrin, are you there? Or are you doing virtual?
Yep, I am doing help desk, at least virtual. So, yep, I am not a traveling guy these days, but I'll be working the virtual help desk. So if you guys are doing virtual, stop on by and have a good time. It's $20 for the virtual if you guys are if anyone's interested, and have fun.
Sweet.
All right. Well, and if you are the traveling type and you make it to Game Hole Con, I believe you will find yourself one Jeff Pancake and his dad David Pancake at their booth, where they sell the real life arts of David Pancake, where you could sculptures, all kinds of really cool stuff that Dave does, and
freaking art.
It is amazing stuff, and I believe they are in person. So you'd be able to find them there at Game Hole Con. I know it's one of their favorite cons to go to, so I'm absolutely positive that is on the list of cons that they are attending. So if you are there, seek them out. They will be there, almost guaranteed. And I think that is about it for announcements for us. So thanks again, everyone, for stopping in. I don't have the raids and everything set up because I just got access back to this thing tonight. So we'll try to get a lot of this shit put back in place again. And we will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.
Thanks for coming by tonight. Thanks for giving us your time.